Dillon's trout! Well, guys, the Daytona 500 is in the books. And there's so much to talk about. That's what you're here for today, and we're going to get started right now. Hi everybody, it's Brandon coming back at you today with another race review from this season's schedule so far. And if you've been enjoying the series, please make sure that you smash that thumbs up button as hard as you possibly can and click the subscribe button with the bell notification so you don't miss any future updates. So the Daytona 500, let's go ahead and talk about it. A lot happened here today, and we're going to do things just a little bit different. I want to try a new technique out, maybe to give a little more, as far as quality to the video itself. So let me know in the comments what you think about it, and let me know if there's something that you would like for me to change. So as we get started here, and you will have to excuse me, you're going to see me look away from the camera occasionally. That's because, unfortunately, the way that my office is set up right now, it's a little bit tight, and I don't have a whole lot of room to work with. One of the things that I've heard a lot during my look around on social media, a lot of negativity. One thing that we've learned is that you cannot make everyone happy no matter what you do. There were people last year saying there's not enough action during races. We need more action. There's not enough drama. There was plenty of drama in this race yesterday. And that's why I waited a day to do my race review. I wanted to let everything sink in and really let you know what I thought about everything. So let's go ahead and get into it here. So race-wise itself, I was really impressed as you can see the race clips going behind me. And this is just a general review of the race itself. The packs themselves were extremely competitive. There, in that very first stage, there was not a whole lot of, well, we're just going to follow the leader, we're going to stay in line, and at the very end of the stage, we will just see where everything plays out. Quite the opposite. There were 2 and 3 wide racing for a good 20-25 laps straight during stage 1. Now, as you're going to see in the video behind me, right at the end of stage 1 here, there's going to be our first big one. And that's right, I did say our first big one, because as you're going to see, there'll be more to come. A lot of that has to do with cars being out of control. Cars with this height rule and this package that they brought to Daytona were very difficult to drive. That's, as a race fan, that's what I want to see. So, in line with the green flag, yellow flag, black flag, first green flag absolutely goes to the racing that occurred during all 3 major series this weekend. The truck race was great. The Xfinity race with 5 overtimes and the closest recorded, and I stress recorded, margin of victory. And then the Cup race from yesterday. All 3 of them were great, and I only wish that I could have been there. Second green flag, of course, is the winner of the race. For a lot of different reasons. Austin Dillon in the 3 car. Poetic, it's very poetic, the fact that he was able to win 20 years after Senior got his only race win at the Daytona 500. That was, in fact, if you guys have been following me here on the channel, that was the very first race that I had ever seen. And something that you can actually take a look at is I've gone ahead and I had put together a live reaction of the Daytona 500 through my eyes. I'm going to throw a card right up here for that, so you guys can absolutely check that out. But Austin Dillon, just overall, very humble in his win. Very, very happy to have seen him win that race for the reasons that he wanted. So, on to yellow flags. First yellow flag that I'm going to mention, you just seen the one individual from that. First yellow flag is going to be Hendrick Motorsports as a whole. Every single one of their race cars was involved in one big one or another. I even believe William Byron may have been involved in two of them. Just not a good day when you look at the end of the day for HMS. Chase Elliott had a great race car, so did Alex Bowman. Hated to see what I saw for them, but glad that they had good runs. Second yellow flag goes to Danica Patrick. As you can see, she was involved in the second big one of the weekend, and overall, just felt bad. I mean, she has changed this sport. In my opinion, she's changed it for the better. There was a female that, if I'm not mistaken, and someone please feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm incorrect, but there was a female driver that won the ARCA race. So she has changed the sport, and I think because of her, you're going to see so many more women in the sport of NASCAR very, very soon. Now we've covered the green and yellow flags. Finally, let's move on to the black flags. So quite honestly, I only had one black flag this weekend, and that was the overall negativity on social media that I spoke of earlier. Guys, let's be honest here. NASCAR's in a position where they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. You have race fans that say we don't have enough action and drama. NASCAR's got to do something. You got plenty of action and drama in this race right up here that I'm showing, up in this corner. Not back here, but up in this corner. And there's people saying that wasn't enough, or super speedway racing needs to be changed. No, it doesn't. Let's look at 1998, 1999, 2002. Let's look at those races with the drafting packages that they had. This was as close as you're going to get to that. For people to react negatively because of the way that Austin Dillon won that race, you are entitled to your opinion, but let's look at the overall big picture. And my thought on the Austin Dillon thing, once again, this is just my own thought. If Eric Almirola is okay with it, which, by the way, he handled that interview as classy as you could have handled it. If he's okay with what happened, then I don't see why we're talking about it. Tony Stewart has gone on record as saying, I'd wreck my grandmother to win a race. I guess Austin Dillon's the same way. So Grandma, better make sure you got those seatbelts pulled tight. Would I have done it? I don't know. I honestly could not tell you. A couple of other things just overall I wanted to touch on. There were so many good things this weekend, it's hard to wrap it up in one video. But I do believe that there was a bigger story than Austin Dillon winning this race itself. There was so much young talent up at the front. There was Ryan Blaney leading, I believe, 112 laps of the entire 200-lap race. Paul Menard, ran very well. There were low-budgeted teams that got exposure yesterday that they would not have gotten unless we had the circumstances that we do. That we did, I'm sorry. Now, one of the other things that I want to do here for you is I want to go ahead and play a clip from Bubba Wallace in the media center after the 500. Now, most of you, I'm sure, have seen it, but for those of you that haven't, I'm going to play it, and I'm not going to say anything through it, and then we are going to talk about it for just a second. And this, to me, is the biggest story of the entire weekend. I'll explain to you why.
If I can have your attention in the media center and up in the press box, we are now joined by the runner-up for today's 60th annual Daytona 500 here at Daytona International Speedway. And it's none other than Darrell Wallace Jr., driver of the number 43 Click and Close Chevrolet for Richard Petty Motorsports. Not only was Darrell the highest finishing Sunoco rookie in the race today, but he's also the highest finishing African-American driver in the Great American Race. A second place finish. Besting the previous mark set by NASCAR Hall of Famer Wendell Scott in 1966. Bubba, that was a wild race out there, wild finish. Walk through this final laps for us.
Daytona. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got lost out there. Man, you did that thing, baby. I am so proud of you, baby. I'm so proud of you. You have waited so long, baby.
You act like we just won the race.
Hey, we did. Hey, we did. We did win that race, baby. We did. I love you, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, love you.
God dang it, Mom. Jesus Christ, Mom. Come on now. I'm going to talk like this. All right, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I was going to say walk through the final laps, but forget the final laps. Walk through just the emotion of this moment for you right now.
Oh, it's a sensitive subject, but I'm just so emotional over where my family has been the last 2 years that I don't talk about it, but it's just so hard. And so having them here to support me is... Pull it together, bud. Pull it together. You just finished second. It's awesome. I just try so hard to be successful at everything I do, and my family pushes me each and every day, and they might not even know it, but I just want to make them proud. And second is horrible, but it's still a good day. But yeah, I just love my family, and having everybody here, from my mom, my sister, my uncle, everybody here just means a lot. Next question. Get me off this subject.
Now, if that's the first time that you've seen that, and I think the footage just speaks for itself, but I will go into in depth here in a second. Go ahead, rewind it back and watch it one more time. I'll wait for you here on the other side. I've watched it now a total of 3 times. The reason why I believe that it embodies this sport, and I am going to make this brief, I don't want to ramble on too much, is I have been fortunate enough in my life to have seen this sport up close. I was a Make-A-Wish kid. I suffer from a physical disability, so I was fortunate enough to be able to do that. I have got to see up close how difficult it is for some of these drivers and some of these teams to make it. I've seen a lot of drivers in my time that were extremely talented not get the opportunity that they probably should have. Darrell Wallace Jr. was in the top 12 in points last year, and they had to shut the door on his ride for lack of sponsorship. He did not get the opportunity to run for a championship that I think he was very capable of running for and possibly winning. He fortunately gets the opportunity to race for the injured Eric Almirola. I'm sure he would have liked better circumstances than what he was given. And now look at him. He finishes second in the biggest race that stock car racing has. And it is so fitting that the number 3, the number 43, and the number 11 all finish in the top 3, the 3 most winning numbers in NASCAR. If that's not drama enough for you, you're not going to find the drama you're looking for in this sport. So, overall, we've covered the Daytona 500. I'm hoping as briefly as I can. So now the question is, where do we go from here? Well, next weekend is Atlanta. I will have a couple of videos uploaded on our way to Atlanta. My goal is to try and get 3 videos per week out to you guys. You guys have been continuing to show great support for us just starting out. We've only been up and on the air for 10 days. So to have what we have, over 80 views on the videos that we have, I'm extremely proud of, and I'm greatly appreciative for everything and the support that you guys have shown. Once again, please let me know what you guys thought was important in the 500. Was it Austin Dillon? Was it all of the young blood up towards the front today? I'm sorry, yesterday. What was it to you that made the 500 special? I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. Thank you so much again for stopping by. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Smash that thumbs up button, in fact. And then click the subscribe and the notification bell so you know when I upload a video, you get a nice little update on your phone. Oh, hey, Brandon uploaded a video. But, thanks so much for stopping by, guys. Have a great day.